Welcome, friends. Welcome to this week's episode of the Inspired Yogi. Today I'm with Annelies Richmond, and we are going to have a conversation right in my wheelhouse. I'm so excited about this. We're going to talk about breathwork and meditation today. So welcome, Annelies. How are
Thank
you?
you. It's great to be with you, Jim. I'm doing great.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And this is I'm so like, you know, fond of meditation. That's not even the right word. Passionate about meditation. So I'm excited to be talking about that and some of the stuff you've done and the work you're doing with it. So you want to tell
Great.
our audience a little bit about yourself?
Sure. So I've been actually, this is my 25th year of being a breathwork and meditation instructor with the Art of Living Foundation, which is a global nonprofit in 180 countries now. It's the 45th
Wow.
anniversary of Art of Living. Yeah, so it's really cool. It's like all over the globe and people from all backgrounds and speaking all languages do our courses, which are like a deep dive in breathwork and meditation. And we have other more advanced levels like silence courses, silent retreats. And the role I play now in the foundation is I'm the global director of the Sky Campus Happiness Program, which is our university program.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. How did
Yeah.
you, 25 years, how did you get started in meditation and breath work?
Maybe a little unlikely. I was a professional ballerina at that time.
Wow.
It's kind of my past life, last life, it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had been doing it for about 8 years at the time, and I was moving dance companies around the country. And then I was like severely injured for a year. I couldn't walk, which is like devastating for a dancer not to be able to walk, right?
Yeah.
But I somehow got back to it, even though doctors told me you won't dance again. And I got my dream job in New York, which I had always wanted to do. New York City, and I was dancing at the Metropolitan Opera, and it was like my stage anxiety went higher because it was a huge theater, and you're performing every night, and there's like 4,000 people in front of you, and I was trying like lots of yoga classes, more so to manage like dance injuries.
Sure.
And they had like a minute or two of meditation. I was like, no, there must be more to this than like literally we would only sit for 1 minute, which I don't know if you
Uh-huh.
can even get into a meditative state that
Yeah,
fast.
you can't even set your seat in a minute.
Yeah, exactly. You can't get comfortable, right?
Right.
So it was funny. A friend in my building who was going to Columbia University kept insisting that I take this Art of Living course. And I'm like, okay. Like he wouldn't tell me what it was about. He's like, it's just so good. You'll love it. If you like yoga, this is the deeper side of it. Or he kept saying that this is the deeper side. And so I went, and that was in 1999. And it was a 4-day course. And I loved the practice. It's called Sudarshan Kriya, is the Sanskrit name.
Mhm.
I remember feeling like I was floating, like I went into some deep meditative state where I felt like I was floating on the floor. And after a couple days of it, I suddenly noticed my body pain disappeared, which is really weird for a dancer. Like you just have pain all the time. And it
Yeah.
was like I felt like my body was 18 again. I was like, wow, this is really powerful. And then I decided I'll do the practice every day. And after about somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks, I remember walking on stage one night and I was just completely calm. Like I didn't feel the crazy, like psyching myself out. I didn't feel stressed. I was just like, oh, this is nice. Actually, I could enjoy the performance instead of be freaked out about it. And that was
That's
it. I realized like, oh, this is a very powerful practice. Like it changed something fundamental inside of me, or the stress response changed. It was the same situation but different
right.
response. So
Yeah.
I just
Which
decided
totally makes
that's
sense because
it.
they say that meditation shrinks your amygdala, which is your stress response. So that's a perfect example.
Yes, you're right. Oh yeah, this is awesome because you know all the science, right? It does change everything, right? Yeah. So then I felt like, yeah, I guess, or I used to be in sympathetic mode, right? During performances. Now I was in parasympathetic mode. So I was like relaxed as much
Yes.
as you can be when you're dancing. And that was it. I just decided, oh, this is such a powerful practice. I should get others to do it. And I was
Mhm.
kind of reluctant to become an instructor because I didn't used to like to speak in front of people, as most dancers don't like to speak in front of people. But I did. I became an instructor. And that was it. I ended up teaching a lot right after September 11th, 2001 in New York City. And people were very traumatized. And that really hit me how much the Sudarshan Kriya practice could bring them out of that traumatized state in just a couple of days. Then it made me have a lot more conviction as an instructor that, the right kind of breathwork and meditation can completely change their system.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Who founded this organization and where did the Kriya come from?
Oh yeah, cool. It was founded by Guru Dev, Sri Sri
Okay,
Ravi Shankar.
okay.
He now goes by Guru Dev, but his full name is Guru Dev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. He's still alive. I got to train so much with him. In fact, I just spent my birthday with him, and we have a retreat center in Canada. But he's an amazing, amazing, real live meditation master. Like he walks the talk. And he doesn't just, train teachers to teach Sudarshan Kriya and breath work and meditation, but he negotiates like conflict between countries, and like he does a lot of peace work because he has a bigger platform now as a humanitarian leader across the globe. He does a lot of peace work. He went and met the FARC, the guerrilla leaders of Colombia,
Wow.
like 7 or 8 years ago. He said, "Will you meet with me for 3 days?" And by the third day, he got them to meditate, and then he proposed they drop their arms, and they did, which is crazy.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah. Anyway, so I love learning from him because he puts yoga into action. He puts it into like what you should be doing in the world as a peaceful person.
That's amazing. Now,
Yeah.
I also read that you taught at the International Day of Peace for the United Nations.
Yeah, yeah.
What was that like?
Okay,
Let's
so
hear
that
about
was yeah, I guess as a teacher, Gurudev is always handing you a new challenge. So, I mean, or somehow I got selected to lead the yoga that day, and Prime Minister Modi was coming. And, I had finally, maybe I had been teaching then for 22 years, and I had finally lost the nerve of being in front of like, okay, 1,000 people or 500
it.
people. And then they're like, well, okay, they want Art of Living to lead the yoga and to lead it with a small group of children. So, somehow they're like, Anna, of course, they tell me like 2 weeks before, like, Annelies, you have to, okay, you've been selected to lead the yoga for, through Art of Living for Prime Minister Modi. And everyone else who's going to be there on that UN lawn, and it's like, okay. And they're like, but it has to be really perfect because at least all of India is going to be logged on, which is like 1 billion people. I'm like, 1 billion people?
No pressure.
No pressure. And then they're like, but they wanted it with children. So you need to come to New York and rehearse with the children.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, okay. But I knew these children. They were friends, my Art of Living teacher friends. It's their children and they're adorable. But they're only like 8 or 9, 10, 11. So yeah, anyway, and you have to lead exactly what the Prime Minister's office would like you to lead the protocol, the official
Okay.
protocol. And for some reason, they want you to say all the contraindications of every pose as you're leading it and right before, which is very kind of like disturbs the flow.
Yeah.
And they're like, watch this video. It has to be led just like this because, I mean, in India, it's quite formal, I guess, the way you celebrate International Day of Yoga. So I'm studying it on the plane, and then like as soon as I land, I'm supposed to demo it in front of the ambassador with the kids. But I had like hardly practiced with them. So I put my note cards, and she was there like, and then she says, it has to be perfect. It's in front of the prime minister, like no pressure, right?
Yeah.
And then, anyway, we rehearsed. We had it pretty down, and we got there at 6 a.m. that morning. I think it was 8 or 8:30, and it was good. But people would keep coming backstage, and the kids were a little anxious. They're like, oh, they would come up to me like every 2 minutes, Miss Annalise, when do we go on? I was like, it'll be a while. There's another speech. Can't you hear it? And they're like, and then 2 minutes later, Miss Annalise, when do we go on? So people would come backstage, and instead of calming them down, they would say to the kids, it needs to be perfect. There
as
are
you.
1 billion people watching. I guess they were stressed. I was like, oh, please stop telling that to these 10-year-olds. So instead of practicing, which I really wanted to do, or I meditated, luckily, very early that morning. I was keeping the whole time, calm the kids down because they kept telling them there are 1 billion people watching. Anyway, but I think once we got on the stage, I was, of course, nervous because they kept saying that. But when I got on the stage and looked out at the field, and there was Prime Minister Modi in the middle, and he's a wonderful yogi, I just thought, you know what? I'm supposed to be here to relax people. So that's it. I'm just here to serve. I'm going to relax. And it was fun. It was beautiful. And it was neat to meet him. He has a very nice kind of meditative vibe. I think he meditates and does breath work. So,
Perfect. Excellent.
yeah.
Is this something the United Nations does regularly or just on the International Day of Yoga? Do you know?
Every year they have a big celebration now because I did go back the next year. They have a big celebration for International Day of Yoga every year on June 21st.
Oh, very
In the
cool.
UN, in that they have a big, beautiful lawn. They have Gandhiji's statue there.
Oh,
And so they bring in different organizations and celebrate yoga. Sometimes they do kirtan and chanting with it. Last year they did some dance yoga. They do it really nicely. Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah.
It must have been really amazing to be a part of it.
It was very beautiful. I felt very privileged. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
can
I think
imagine.
it was just a neat way for the prime minister. I think he landed in the US and to first, he was in the middle of the field practicing with everybody, which is just very cool. That's a nice way to start his US tour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yoga on the lawn. I mean, what could be better?
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, Sky Campus, that's the name of the organization, is you said the college part of it,
Yeah.
and you do the directing for that?
Yes. It's called
What
Sky Campus Happiness. Our
Sky
intention is
Campus Happiness? I like that.
happy campuses. Yeah, happy campuses. And SKY is the kind of research acronym for the Sudarshan Kriya yoga practice, SKY.
Ah, I was wondering where that came from. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So yeah, in the research literature, they often shorten it to SKY instead of spelling out Sudarshan Kriya, which is a hard Sanskrit term, right?
Yeah, for sure. So, what's your role as a director? What's your day-to-day functions?
Right now, I started it in with my team. We started it. Actually, there was a kind of a youth movement through the Art of Living for quite a few years, and then we decided we need to make it fit the university environment. So, with Gurudev, we kind of redesigned things to make it feel appropriate in the academic environment, and say some research along with the course, and make it more about social connection also, besides practices, let young people connect socially, which is needed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we built it up in the US. I have a beautiful team, about full-time team, 7 or 8 people. And then I have instructors, like 250 in the US, which is great. And we built it up. Now it's at 170 universities here in US.
Wow.
Yeah, it grew very fast during the pandemic because we would constantly meet university administrations on Zoom, and they were looking for mental health solutions. They were looking for practices that are more physiological, so students aren't fighting with their mind,
Hmm.
because you know how the breath work, it almost like gets around your mind, it goes right into your nervous system, and then the mind settles on its own. So they would meet us and say, the only good thing about the pandemic, Annelies, is that mental health went to the top of the list for university presidents and chancellors. And so they would, yeah, our program spread really fast because we were like, listen, just silent meditation, it's not so easy for students, but the breath work, once they learn all that, and then they have social connection. So
Hmm.
it grew fast. And then a year and a half ago, I became the international director. So my role is expanding it to other countries and training. We already have many Art of Living instructors in other countries, but training them how to start Sky Campus Happiness and work with universities as partners to bring it onto the campus and host our Sky Happiness retreats, which is how students learn Sudarshan Kriya. So I train a lot of our instructors across the planet, and I help them set up the whole program in their country. And Yeah, I
Love
work
it.
with a lot of different people, but I love working with them. They're all amazing yogis who meditate every day and they do their thing.
Yeah, how perfect. So, so this is happening at existing universities, and you merge your program into it. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
Okay. And like, okay, so a student at a university hears about Sky Campus Happiness, they're interested. What happens from there?
Well, usually we have a 3-day retreat.
Okay.
Not 3 full days. It's hosted on the campus, but 3 half days.
Okay.
And usually the Sky Happiness Retreat is being hosted on the campus every 6 weeks or so.
Hmm.
And they can, usually it's being hosted by the wellness department, or sometimes it's straight from the student dean or through the counseling department. So they can usually find it advertised somehow there. And if we have the program long enough, a student club is formed. So we have Sky Campus Happiness at USC, or Sky Campus Happiness at Yale, or well, like different universities, they have a student club. So sometimes the easiest is they find the student club amidst the student clubs.
Uh-huh.
But otherwise, they can find the retreat advertised, usually on the campus by different mental health or rec centers. Sometimes the rec center, we partner with them. Otherwise, we're kind of fixing up our global website, but they will be able to find it on the global website. They'll be able to click the country and the university and see if they can connect with a retreat there.
How perfect. That's gonna be so great for college kids. I mean, with everything going on, all the partying and all the negative stuff, here's something that's very helpful for them. It's
Yeah,
gonna help them in so many ways, not just academically, but mental health, you said,
yeah.
physically. Oh my gosh, this is wonderful. So they do a 3-day retreat and or half day there on the campus, and then what happens after that?
So they do a 3-day retreat, and often I feel like they make super best friends because they're like, "Oh, I'm like having really authentic conversations with people, not like just
Yeah.
shallow." Or because when you meditate around people, I don't know, something opens up, and then you are very free to be yourself. I would say most of them feel that you're free to be yourself in the
Hmm.
retreat. So they learn the Sudarshan Kriya, or sky breath meditation. We usually have once a week follow-ups on the campus. An instructor or a trained leader leads those. And we encourage students to go deeper. We have silent retreat courses, and we have a other mantra-based meditation called Sahaj Samadhi. And then we also have a Sky leadership training. So we encourage them to go forward and become a facilitator so they can lead workshops, like shorter workshops for their peers.
Hmm.
So we do those sometimes on a campus. It's like a 4-day training or 2 weekend training. Or sometimes we have like a national one, like next week we have a national one at our retreat center in Boone, North Carolina. So there'll be like students from maybe 30 different campuses. They all come together for 4 days and they train. They have to have done like 2 different meditation courses. So they're well trained, and then they learn how to lead guided meditation and like a short workshop with some social connection in it. And they learn how to lead more short, bite-sized breathing techniques for students. And then usually if they're running a club, that's the thing they offer through their club, is like twice a week, a 1-hour workshop.
Hmm.
And yeah, we just really encourage, like once they've learned to practice and they're feeling good themselves, they can do service for others. They can pay it forward or spread the joy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. You said Boone, North Carolina, didn't you?
Yeah, Boone,
Oh,
North Carolina.
my wife and I are actually going there next Sunday, right in that area. Isn't that
Oh,
fun?
you have to come visit us.
That's
It's
so
a
crazy.
it's a beautiful retreat center. It's called the Art of Living Retreat Center, and it's
Okay.
from Boone. You just drive up the mountain. The mountain is literally named Heavenly Mountain. That's the name.
Whoa.
Yeah. And the center was built by TM, Transcendental Meditation, many, many years ago. And then somehow
Okay.
it was abandoned. And anyway, Art of Living kind of got it through an auction, and long story, but it's a beautiful place. It's like built according to Vastu, those kind of
Hmm.
architectural principles that are connected to yoga, and many meditation halls. And every weekend they have silent retreats there. And so we host our Sky leadership training there. And then also my teacher, Gurudev, that comes there usually every July. He comes from India and he teaches himself, which is
Wow.
really epic. Like you can learn silence course from him and yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Now the college kids, I mean, you mentioned this is a nonprofit, right?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
nonprofit.
Do the college kids get to go to f for free, or is there a amount that they have to pay for this?
Yeah, they have to pay and or it's funded or sponsored. So we have a lot of different models. Like many universities partner with us and they pay for a certain number of retreats because their student, anything that's offered to their students is already free. It's included in student activity fees.
Okay,
So on
cool.
those campuses where it's paid for, then the students just sign up for on a scholarship form. They're well aware they're getting a scholarship, and if they took this retreat in the public, it's like $395 through the Art of Living, right? So it's
Okay,
if
cool.
an adult takes it, it's $395. So
Gotcha.
many campuses they pay for it as a mental health resource. They like to have retreats, and it's already designed.
Hmm.
Often to go to the leadership training, if they're going off their campus, then yes, they have to pay for it. But our team has built up a very nice kind of scholarship fund. So
That's
people
so
can,
awesome.
yeah, they've done really well. So they can apply for all kind of levels of scholarships according to if they have financial hardship or not. And
Hmm.
yeah, and then they go, and that's it. And then we have a full teacher training if they want to learn to teach the Sky Happiness Retreat, and that's 2 weeks. So I just had a young girl in my area who graduated from Old Dominion University. She just finished the
Uh-huh.
teacher training. So I'm like so proud because she's only like 25 years old and she went through her full 2 week teacher training. Now she'll be teaching Sudarshan Kriya and our Sky Happiness Retreat to other college students.
Awesome, so awesome. Okay, so let's talk about Kriya because I'm sure there's some listeners going, "What the heck is she talking about? What is Kriya?"
Yeah, that's a good question, right?
Yeah.
Well, I would say, I mean, you very well know this, but you have like the physical yoga postures, and then when you get more subtle, you have breathing techniques or pranayama, right? Pranayama is the housing of the prana or controlling, directing the prana,
Life
which
force energy. Yeah.
yeah, the life force energy. And those are usually a little more advanced breathwork techniques, right? And
Hmm.
then one level deeper than that in the yoga tradition is a kriya, Kriya. I mean, there's more than one kind of kriya,
Hmm.
but it's a very meditative technique, but it's using rhythms in the breath. So the one that we teach is called Sudarshan Kriya. So Su means proper, Darshan means vision, and Kriya is a purifying action. So it's a purifying action we take through the breath that gives us a clear vision of who we really are, clear vision of life, and that's really what Sudarshan Kriya does, but it uses natural rhythms that are inherent in your physiology to kind of calm the system, to purify any negative emotions or impressions that are stuck in the system. It does help release impressions.
Hmm.
So I would say it's a very deep meditative practice that's actively using the breath the whole time. And when you do it long enough, it just dumps you into a meditative state without you having to try to get there.
Hmm.
So by the end, you're in this very peaceful, blissful, meditative state. And you need a couple doses of something as advanced as a Kriya. You need a couple doses, and it should be led live by a teacher. Like we don't put our Sudarshan Kriya online. It should always be facilitated because people can have emotions come up and all kind of things. But
Yeah.
after doing it for a few days in a row, then you can learn how to do a short Sudarshan Kriya practice at home,
Okay.
which is like, to me, it's like it's a shortcut to a fast, deep meditative state.
Hmm. Okay. The full Kriya, how long is that practice?
Uh, the home practice you learn is about 25-ish minutes. That
Okay.
it has some breathing techniques, some pranayamas and breathing techniques that help get you into that state, and then a short Sudarshan Kriya, and then yeah. I mean, what I loved about it when I learned it, it wasn't just super calming, but it was also energizing.
Yeah.
So you feel like you have more energy all day. Your mind kind of feels more bright and clear, and you kind of have naturally smile more. And people are like, why are you smiling so much? You're like, I don't know. It's just happening naturally, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So cool. I learned a Kriya through Sadhguru. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Sadhguru. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then you practice it on your own twice a day. And my wife and I had gone to the Florida Keys, and we're like, we're sticking with this practice, and we'd literally just find somewhere to just in Key West to do the practice. I mean,
Awesome.
this little tiny beach that was like where kind of like where the homeless people hung out. We
Uh-huh.
literally sat there on the beach and did the Kriya right on the beach and just different places. We're like, we're just so committed to this. And
Amazing.
it was. I honestly I don't know if I would have done it myself, but having somebody there with me that was also committed to it, it's like that bond, that connection. You just go for it. No matter where we were, we would do the Kriya twice a day. Pretty cool.
Amazing. Oh, that's so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
powerful.
Yeah. So share more about like some. Do you have like some positive feedback or stories at how it's changed some of these students' lives?
Oh, yes.
Oh
Um,
yes.
yeah, so let's see. I could take uh, one girl when she was in university. She got kicked out a couple times as student athlete for drinking. So she was like
Oh,
constantly drinking so much it was like getting noticed, and she was
yeah.
getting reprimanded or whatever. And she also had really bad ADHD. Like she could not focus. She would not look you in the eye when you're talking. It was like whatever.
Yeah.
So um, when she took our retreat, first she was like, she was able to stop drinking because there are new studies on the Sudarshan Kriya that it's very good for de-addiction. Like it helps you just don't crave the substance as much when you do those 3 days, and your body really gets cleaned out through Sudarshan Kriya. You don't really crave stuff as much. So she was able to kind of put aside the alcohol, which was a problem for her, right?
Yeah.
And then I told her you have to come to a second level. She came to one of our silent retreats that we did in Boone, North Carolina, with like students from all over the country, which was fun. And after that, like her ADHD started really improving. And, just like you were told, do it every day. So I told her, you need to do this practice every single day, and you
Yep.
can really change what you think is your limit. You can really change your ADHD. Like, and she did. It's crazy. Like she did it every day. And then she added, we have a second level with more meditation. And
Hmm.
then slowly, slowly, she doesn't take any more medication. She doesn't even seem like she has ADHD. She looks you in the eye. She's able to focus. And she's now one of our new national directors for Sky Campus.
Wow. Now that's a success story. I love that.
Yeah, her name's Kelsey Line. She's lovely. You wouldn't even guess that she used to have like severe ADHD. She's so like poised, calm, and she's teaching others now. So like you
Yeah.
teach, you really learn it, right?
Man, I wish we could do that with kids. Like, I mean, they're always quick to put kids on Ritalin and other drugs for ADHD. If we
Right?
could just teach them meditation, I think it'd go a long way.
It really would, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have we actually have a program also for veterans.
Oh, cool. For
So,
PTSD or
yeah, it's called Project Welcome Home Troops.
Ooh, I like that name.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
Yeah.
So that's a really powerful program. I've had some veteran friends go through it.
Hmm.
But the research on that one, well, I guess first what I noticed with people who have done it, their course is a little bit longer, 5 or 6 days. They almost need more doses of the
Yeah.
sky breath meditation to help them come out of the PTSD. Uh, but like my friend was like, after the 5 or 6 days, was like, I could suddenly finally sleep at night, and I haven't slept at night like that, like peacefully, without dreaming of whatever events for, I guess it had been several years. I'm like, oh my God, like you can finally sleep, like that is a blessing. But the research on that is really powerful. There was a study, I think it was out at University of Wisconsin, yeah, Madison. And they had a group of veterans. So they measured their PTSD after the 5, 6 days, and they didn't qualify for PTSD anymore.
Oh,
That was really cool. Like they would
yeah.
measure their startle response in some horrible way. Like they were in a dark room with electrodes hooked to their eyes and like loud noises being played. So they measure the startle response by how much like the eye flickers or whatever. And then they followed them for 1 month and they still didn't qualify for PTSD. And then the cool thing in that study is they measured them again after a year. And they weren't told they have to practice every day, which they didn't have that kind of resource where they're like making them practice.
Hmm.
But they also still didn't qualify for full-on PTSD after a year, which is really amazing and crazy. It suggests that there's some kind of more permanent effect that happens when you've done Sudarshan Kriya enough times, that you clear enough of the trauma out of your system, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Now you say they didn't have to do it, but were some of them doing it anyway? Do you know?
We think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like that they were told, yeah, it's better if you practice, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was a mixture. Maybe some practice, some didn't, you know.
Oh, I can imagine if you do have PTSD and it's, a big downer in your life. I mean, just having to go through that and you find something that works, a tool that actually gives you a positive result, you're going to keep doing it, you would think.
Exactly, right?
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. I have
Yeah.
another story. I should share a story of a
Okay.
guy, maybe, but
I love stories, so.
okay. So one of my favorite students, his family's from Mongolia. This is funny.
Mhm.
He's gonna know I'm talking about him. And anyway, I was teaching a course at University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, which is a very large university in the Midwest, and a Sky Happiness retreat. So he came to repeat it because he really liked the first one, I guess. And I was the teacher on the one he repeated. So he came up on the first night. He was so quiet. He never spoke the whole class. You know, a lot of times we ask questions, people answer, but he's silent, you know. But he comes up to me like very quietly, waits for most people to leave, says, you know, I just can't connect with people. I'm like so shy and I feel like people think I'm awkward and I feel awkward and I can't connect. This is what he tells me. And I'm like,
Mhm.
you know, I was like, the way your presence is, you don't need to say anything. People feel connected to you. Like you're, you know, he has this really nice presence. He doesn't have to say much. He's like, I don't know, I'm awkward. Anyway, so it was neat to see over those few days, he kind of opened up more and started speaking to people more. So I encouraged him to go through our leadership training because it's all about coming out of your comfort zone.
Mhm.
You have to stretch your own hand first. You don't wait for other people to come to you, you know, and as you do service, you become a lot more confident in yourself, you know.
Yeah.
And he did. He went through our leadership training. He came to our teacher training, our 2 week teacher training, and you know, by then he was really coming out of his shell. I mean, when I first met him, he was so awkward, shy. He wouldn't talk to anybody. He would not talk to anyone. He would kind of just look down. But on the teacher training, he had kind of fun assignments like you have to make everyone else have fun or you have to do a prank. And he really did play the pranks. So now he's one of our most dynamic, incredible instructors, and he leads an entire group at University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. He teaches there. He teaches Sky Happiness retreats every month, and he's like, and he has this incredible job. He's also like a software engineer, and anyway, and the students love him, and he has to be, now he's super, you know, out of his shell, gregarious and confident. So it's so nice to see that kind of transformation, you know.
Yeah, perfect. I mean, three really good success stories. I love that. Yeah. So, what do you tell people that, when um, encourage them to meditate and they're like, oh, no, 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 I can't meditate. I've tried that. I can't meditate. I can't clear
I,
my mind. Yeah.
yeah, I tell them, well, that's quite natural. Most people on the planet say that. That's quite normal. In fact, everyone's mind is pretty much bouncing from past to future all the time. If you notice right now, your mind goes to the future really fast, comes back, goes to the past, and
Hmm.
it keeps going, past, future, past, future. And the more you try to control it, well, actually, the more you resist what happens in the mind, the more it persists. So there's a law in our mind, what you resist persists.
Mhm.
So if you try to control your thoughts, it really doesn't work. I would tell them you just haven't found the right technique. You have to try on very good practices that are both evidence-based and, for me, from a long-standing tradition. They've stood the test of time. They're from the yoga tradition. They're like well-rooted, and I would even go as far to say there's a yogi in the past in that tradition that's enlightened. So we know it works because, a mind that's reached that state knows how to take another mind into it. But I think you have to try on the right practice. So it's the nicest thing I hear, or funniest thing in most of my sky happiness retreats. 50% of people say, no, I can't meditate. I'm never able to meditate. It doesn't work for me. I'm like, that's fine, but you just try this Sudarshan Kriya technique and then see, okay? And that's it. Within the first day, we take them now into the deeper technique on the first day. And then when they come out of it, they're like, oh, wow, my mind is totally empty. They just say that. They're kind of surprised. But I'm like, it works, you have to
Yeah.
have the right technique, I think. Mm.
Yeah. Perfect answer. I love that. So, where are you taking it? You're reaching out to other countries now, is that right? And trying to get this worldwide?
Yeah, it is now. We have it in 14 countries in Europe,
Right.
12 countries in Latin America, and Africa. I did some training, so we have like teachers of it in 13 countries,
Okay.
and Taiwan,
Wow.
China. Yeah, we have it starting up in the Far East.
Hmm.
Did a big training for all of our instructors there. So it's kind of all over, actually. In Australia, it's just starting up.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And it's not just for college kids, right? Anybody can go or no?
Our Sky Campus Happiness program is for either young people in the public that are
Okay.
somewhere between 18 and 30, but more so it's to integrate our program with the university,
Hmm.
within a university. So the program can be housed there. People can access it in the university environment. But in the public, it's through the Art of Living
Okay.
Foundation. And the courses, it's just called Art of Living Course Part 1.
Hmm.
And that is the course that teaches Sudarshan Kriya. And then that's taught in every city in the US and all over the world, really. We have like tons of instructors.
Yeah.
And the Art of Living course part 2 in the public is our silent retreat, the silence course. And that's kind of the second level. It's kind of the second half of the course, actually. Once you learn Sudarshan Kriya or Sky Breath meditation and you practice it for a while, you want to start going deeper after that, then it's really, really delicious and amazing to spend a couple days in silence, guided. I much prefer guided silence courses. Like our silence course is guided by a live instructor, and the meditations are even guided. So you're not sitting there wondering in silence what you're supposed to be doing, because I find people find that really hard. So
Right.
yeah, the silence course to me is the best.
How long is the silence course?
Most of ours are only one evening and 3 days, 3 full days, to make
Okay.
it accessible for a working person. So
Yeah.
we have 7-day silence courses and 10-day silence courses, but a little more
Okay.
rare. I think Gurudev wants people to, no matter what career they have, to be able to experience some of that, and because it also helps you so much in your life. So he
Hmm.
made it a little shorter and shorter, condensed. So in most cities, when we offer it, it's a Thursday night, and then it's all day Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So by Friday, you start going into silence. The whole group goes into silence, and then you do these really powerful meditations. They're called hollow and empty meditations. They're like, yeah, and you
That's
start
cool.
feeling hollow and empty, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Um, so it sounds different than you're probably familiar with like the Vipassana meditation
Yeah,
retreats. I think they're 10 days of total silence. Sounds a
yeah.
little different than that,
It
right?
is. I mean, yeah, I can't speak as much from personal experience because I haven't. taken Vipassana, but I also teach the silence course or Art of Moving course part two. And I have a
Yeah.
lot of students come that say they've taken Vipassana. So they were like, oh, that was so much harder because it's not guided. You're just sitting there in silence. I mean, they appreciate the fact that it's kind of curated and guided. So you're not wondering what to do. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where my mind went because I was thinking, Vipassana, you're just sitting there and just for hours and now, all day basically.
It sounds hard.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah.
But a
Yeah.
lot of people do it and get great benefit out of it. But it sounds like if there's some direction would make it a little easier. Like
I
you
think
said,
so.
you're not sitting
Yeah.
there wondering, what do I do now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. In our silent retreat through Art of Living, there's some there's some videos that are explaining why the emotions are coming up and how the emotion is connected to a thought, is connected to a sensation in your body, and how it's kind of a loop. But, right, you have a thought which creates an emotion can create a sensation in the heart region or throat or stomach. And we're not usually aware of that at all, but in silence you can start to observe that phenomenon. And then there's a cool technique people end up learning, and there's some videos of Gurudev that explain that, where if you just become aware of your emotion as a sensation in the body, it starts changing.
Yeah.
So that's really precious wisdom because most people, I mean, our society teaches us to blame our emotions on somebody else. And you're like, oh, that person. And I mean, maybe they did do something terrible for sure, but you're the one stuck with the emotion. It's in your nervous system. It's like, okay, now what can I do about it?
Yeah.
Me,
So it's, you made me feel this way. Yeah. People
yeah.
don't like to hear that. No, you made yourself feel that way.
I mean, for sure, your emotions can be triggered by somebody else in an outside
Yeah.
event. But once that has happened, now you're stuck with it. Okay, now what can I do? That's
Hmm.
empowerment. I mean,
Yeah.
yogic empowerment, right? Like I'll do something. I'm responsible for my own feelings, or I'm responsible for my emotions. Then you don't get stuck in that blame game or in victim consciousness, victim mode, which is not so, it's kind of debilitating, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Totally. So, what would you like this audience to learn from you today that you haven't covered already?
Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, I would say however you want to be in your life, you can be. And it all starts with your mind, training your mind. And also that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your mind, or the quality of your life is determined by the state of your mind. So if we can attend to our own mind first, and that takes some training, like everybody knows if you want to make your body strong, at least 4 or 5 times a week, you got to do the physical work and train your body, but your mind, it almost needs more training. So I would say spend time spend time practicing techniques that can calm and train the mind, and it can even you can even train it better than the body in a way. How you can make your biceps strong, your back strong, your legs strong, you can make your mind very strong. So it starts resting more in the present moment, and it's more resilient to stress. But it takes practice. That's why everything you learn, breathing techniques, pranayama or kriya, it's called a practice because you have to practice it. So I think that there's no better use of time with how crazy the planet is right now. There's no better use of
Hmm.
our human time than doing at least 30 minutes of practice every day, breathing and meditation.
I'll agree with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's interesting too, like we think we're aware of our thoughts, but the more we meditate, the more we become aware of our subconscious thoughts. And those subconscious thoughts, like you said, that's when you start seeing the loop, of what's happening, where things are going round and round and either working towards your advantage if the thoughts are good or the opposite if they're not so good. So,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. Do we want to do a breathing technique?
I would love to. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, Relaxing one or invigorating one?
Hmm. I could use some invigoration. Yeah, I played
Okay.
some pickleball this morning. It was 90-some degrees. It was pretty warm. Jumped in the pool, cooled off, ate, and then I was like ready for a nap. But I was like, oh, got a podcast. So
Oh, okay.
if you
Okay,
need
we
some
can.
invigoration, because I got to go edit a podcast that I'll put out tomorrow. So yeah,
Nice.
that'd be
Okay.
great.
Okay, so I'll just be conscious that people could be listening to this only, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And hopefully not driving. But
Yeah. If you're
anyway,
driving, don't do this. Well, at least it's invigorating.
okay. Okay. So this one is called Bellows Breath or Bhastrika. Bhastrika means bellows, like the bellows you pump on a fire,
Yes.
the old-fashioned bellows.
Mhm.
So we're gonna make a bellows out of our arms and lungs. So we start with our hands in loose fists near our shoulders, and your elbows are kind of dropped down by the bottom of your ribs, and your shoulders relaxed, yeah. And the hands in loose fists kind of in front or side of your shoulders. And when we breathe in just through the nose, and we raise our arms up above our head and hands open like you're reaching for the stars, palms open. And then when you breathe out, you let the air shoot out of the nose and you let your arms fall to the original position. You let them fall back to the shoulders, hands in loose fists. And then we breathe in through the nose, open the hands, raise the arms straight up, and breathe out, and let the arms fall. And it's kind of like blowing the nose. And then one more time, we inhale through the nose, and we exhale a little bit forcefully as we drop the arms. Okay, so should we try it a few times?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can close the eyes, and I'll guide you. Your hands are in loose fists near your shoulders. Just take a gentle transition breath in, and let the breath go. And now we begin. Reach up, inhale, down. In, up, down. In, down. Through the nose. In, up, down. In, reach up, down. In, and down. In through the nose, down, out. In, and down, out. In, and out. In, and out. In, and out. In, up, and out. In, and out. And one more, in, and out. And with the eyes closed, relax your hands in your lap with your palms facing up towards the sky. And let your shoulders relax. We'll do one more round just like that. So bring the hands in loose fists near your shoulders. Eyes are closed, elbows are close to your ribs. And when we reach up, we open the hands and sniff in through the nose. And when we drop the arms down, we breathe out a little forcefully through the nose. So now we'll begin. Reach in, up, down. In, up, and down. In, and down. In, up, and down. And up, in, down. In, up, and 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 down. And one more. In, up, and down. And relax with the eyes closed. Relax your hands in your lap with the palms facing the sky. Shoulders relaxed. And notice the mind, the body. You might feel a little tingling sensation with this one in the hands or in the head. You may notice the thoughts are a little clear or settled down. And whenever you feel ready, slowly and gradually, you can open your eyes. How do you feel?
Wonderful. Energized, a little warm, ready to go.
Yeah, this one's nicely energizing, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't do it with the arm motions, but I do Bhastrika sometimes on the pickleball court actually. When I need energy and focus. I like well that's
Ah,
bunny's breath, but not the bellows, but more of like
yeah.
a quick bunny breath. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
this one's good to do, like to use it as a meditative or an energizing technique. It's good to do it seated and then The arm pumping is really powerful. It actually,
Yeah.
I learned from a doctor that was on one of my trainings a
Uh-huh.
month ago that it cleans your pineal gland. I was like, what?
Ooh.
Said that the cerebral spinal fluid doesn't have a pump in the body like other systems have a pump. And he
Right.
was wondering, why does Gurudev have us pumping our arms like this? So he researched it and he said it makes the cerebral spinal fluid go up the spine and it comes out and it like gives a shower to your pineal gland, which is
Oh, interesting. Interesting. Joe Dispenza does a breathing technique where he tightens up the muscles of going up the spine to help pump that cerebral spinal fluid up. So and
cool.
it's a lot more difficult to do than the arm motion that you're teaching.
This
So
is pretty simple, right? It's like, yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's fascinating.
Now I know because some people usually feel energized and good, and your mind feels more fresh and clear, right?
Hmm.
But some people are like, "Oh, I feel dizzy," but I'm like, "Well, no wonder people feel a little like woo because the pineal gland is being like flushed, you know." It can
Yeah,
feel a little tingly because a lot of oxygen coming to the brain and
yeah, very good. I love that. Thanks for sharing that. I always love when guests bring some of their techniques in to let people, actually experience some of it. So it's wonderful. Thank you.
right? Yeah. We got to
Yeah.
get people practicing. If people knew how good it was, they'd be buying it like drugs off a shelf, right?
Right? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. All right. Anything else you'd like to share today?
Hmm. I think the main thing I'd like to share is meditate a little every day.
Okay.
And if you think you can't meditate, just keep looking and find the right technique.
Yeah.
Try breath-based techniques. I mean, for me, it was the sky breath meditation that worked so beautifully that kind of got around any craziness in the mind. And even though as a dancer I'm used to moving all the time, it made my whole system settle. So find a practice and practice every day, and then don't stop there. Encourage and inspire other people to practice, because if we want the planet to be less violent and more peaceful and more harmonious, we have to start one individual at a time.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's the way. Yeah.
I got into this work like 40 years ago. And back then, you had to find books. I mean,
Yep.
you could go online. I mean, this information wasn't all over social media. There was no social media, right? I
Yep.
mean, so, and, I spent a lot of time going to bookstores, going to, places with used books to try to find different things with techniques and different things. Um, I wasn't tuned in to the gurus yet. But now, today, man, no one's got excuses.
Right.
You got AI, you got social media, you got all these tools now
You
that you
can
can just plug in and learn so much.
you can learn so much. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And take your life in a different direction simply. It's so
Right?
awesome. You don't even have to read, just follow along.
Exactly. Yeah, even during the pandemic, we changed all of our Sudarshan Kriya courses and Art of Living courses to online. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
all you have to do is have a laptop to learn, like it's like,
Right? You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go to
you know,
India.
exactly. You don't have to travel all the way to India to learn this. You can learn
Yeah.
it literally in your home. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, which is so awesome. Yeah.
And thanks to you for spreading the inspiration of yoga and meditation, and that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm so passionate about it. I feel like like, the like I spew some stuff on social media once in a while. I kind of have like my Jim Piro account that I'll post some political stuff. But then I got my Inspired Yogi that, it's only spiritual, it's only positive vibes, nothing negative on there. But it's like I feel like if we really want to change the world, we all have to tune into the collective consciousness. And because the more of us that tune into that collective consciousness through yoga, meditation, and whatnot, it starts to create a vibration that resonates into others.
Yep.
And, I can't tell you how much time lately I've spent praying for and sending light to Donald Trump.
Oh my
And,
goodness.
and that,
That's great.
there's so much negative stuff out there about him. Oh, he's this, he's that, blah, 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 blah. But man, he's like leading the world through the United States right now. And if we can get to his heart with love and light, he wanted a Nobel Peace Prize. Well, okay, it's like, time to shine your light, Donnie. Shine.
Yeah.
Time to, really, really put your practice or your mouth where your foot is, or whatever that expression is. I don't know. And it's like
Wow.
make peace, man. Make peace, make love. Yeah,
What a beautiful intention. I love that.
yeah. So I hope other people will join me. Just send him light and
Yes.
just love and just like tune into it because you're kind of going in the wrong direction, buddy.
One of my friends sent me this really interesting picture they had made on AI because they said they also, like you said, wanted to see all the world leaders in a positive light. So they
Yeah.
asked AI to make a picture of Donald Trump meditating. And it looked really cool. And then they're like, oh, then I was like, oh, this is nice. So then they asked AI to make a picture of Donald Trump and Putin meditating together. And it did.
Ooh.
And they looked very peaceful. And I was like, well, this is very positive intention here. I was like,
Let's make that happen. We got to manifest that.
yeah, we got to teach them to meditate,
Yes. Get
right?
into the heart brain work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spread the love. Yeah.
That's
I
beautiful.
put, I don't know if you know the Black Eyed Peas song, Where's the Love?
Where's the love? I love Black Eyed Peas.
Yeah.
No, that's cool what you say, heart brain. That's what Guru Dev says is enlightenment, is when the head returns back to the heart and the heart and head start working together. It's like, oh, it's so beautiful. Like
Mhm.
that you, in spite of your intelligence, you come back to your love and your innocence.
Yeah, we need more love for sure. For sure. Well, hey, Annalise, this was wonderful. I really loved our conversation today. I appreciate you reaching out to come on the show. This has been great. So,
Well, thank you for having me and thank you for what you're doing. You're spreading so much good messages and education actually that people need so much.
thank you. What websites would you like people to visit?
Okay. So they can go for the campus program, they can go to skycampushappiness.org.
Okay.
And if they want to do anything through the Art of Living in the general public, Art of Living courses, it's
Mhm.
artofliving.org, just like it
Okay.
sounds, artofliving.org. And our silent retreats are there too. And our retreat center is on there.
Perfect.
Yeah, and then if they want to check me out, maybe I'm more on Instagram. Annelies. It's just Annelies Richmond.
Thanks again for joining me. You have
Thank
a
you, Jim.
wonderful day.
Have a blessed day.
You too.